I figured it out! I don't know why, but until now I've not been listening to my own advice, and the way that I mean about that is how I've just been sat here in my hoodies just talking, but in the fact that I've hoped that it's going to be interesting enough for it to be worth watching for people that I want to subscribe to me, and that's how I grow my YouTube channel. It might be because of this energy drink, but I obviously had like a brainstorming moment yesterday, as all good YouTubers do. They reflect upon their successes. And I went, why am I starting all my videos with hello there, like I'm Obi-Wan Kenobi? That was a bit of a Star Wars joke for all the big keen Star Wars fans out there. But obviously that's why today now I've made a different video. It started with me jumping in, and I've already captivated you enough to hopefully be listening until now already. Thank you. If that's worked, then that credits the fact that I do like to give out advice sometimes, even though I've only got 25 subscribers, but I have grown 3 subscribers over the last 2 videos. Partly because I put it on my Facebook so people I know can come here and laugh at me in this shared positive space. But today I'm going to talk, again, also quite vloggy. That's basically the idea of the video that I wanted to do, just sort of jump in and do my own thing. But I'll just talk today about also some things that have happened. So I made a TikTok today, which feel free to check out. You'd have to put my handle in on TikTok as well, which is Roller32, obviously. Where I was talking about how these 2 cars are exactly the same. And a little bit of advice, again, or like a tip, is that on YouTube I like to go into more depth that I could have done on TikTok, but obviously I don't have the time because TikTok's more of like a quick style of video sort of thing. But I'm actually doing this one quite quick. And it tends to be better because obviously if I'm doing it in like a sort of, not podcasty feel, but that is sort of the gist of it, that if I'm having like a conversation alone in my university dorm room to my phone, then it's more of a real conversation than if I'm trying to create like a product. Obviously I am trying to create a product, you know, the finished video in this one, but I try not to necessarily put a lot of effort in because 1, it doesn't need it. 2, I'm at university, I've got to study, which I need to be doing because I'm at university, I'm paying for university through loans, like, you know, so I always call it like sort of fake money, but obviously it's still real, like I'm paying for university. So I don't like to put a lot of effort in because I sort of feel like guilty because I know that I've got to do my work. So that's why I do it low effort. But I'll mention like the video I made. So I was talking about how these 2 cars, I just mentioned that before, didn't I? These 2 cars look similar, the Suzuki Wagon-R Plus and the Vauxhall Agila. And I made a little comedic thing about how I showed that they're exactly the same. I went like, here's a Suzuki Wagon, here's a Vauxhall Agila. I was going to put in that I go, no, this isn't the same car. This is a different car, but they're exactly the same one. And you know what, right now it's actually done quite well. It's got like 1,000, nearly 1,000 likes. It was like 800 or something in like an hour. To the point where I stopped getting notifications from it because it was more than like, oh, 1 person's liked your video, because then they can just give you that notification. But they're not going to give you like 500 like notifications. So it went really well. Good bit of feedback from myself on it is that it's not about Lego Star Wars. And as I mentioned in my previous videos, but if you're new here, I say that as if I've got like loads of subscribers, but the 26th person who is going to view this video, obviously I've sort of been making videos mainly in like the Lego Star Wars community with like Lego that I've just had lying about in my university room, and then I went home for Christmas, and obviously at home in my parents' house I've got all the Lego that I've had from Christmas and birthdays over the years. So I just went ham with videos and obviously gained like a rapport in the Lego Star Wars community. But this one's obviously just about me and how I'm treating something. So that's really happy, and it's made me think of another video as well, because I've got an idea of another video to come from this, and it's sort of like parts it as well, like a series. And in the same way that in this series, if you will, all the videos that I'm making on YouTube, this one will be the first one where I'm not actually here on the thumbnail, because hopefully the thumbnail should be at the start, and obviously I'm going to have cropped it from when it's just the chair here, and it's sort of captivating. But as I've said, another thing that I might not make a video on, but I definitely could, but what I'll mention here now at least, but I might not make a video on TikTok, and I'll get to the point, I'm sorry, that's a running theme that I like to ramble, if you haven't guessed, because the video is already 6 minutes long, or something like that. If I've checked, that's an interesting point, check how well I've done that, because do you remember in like maths class, you'd have to like, you know, turn around on like a minute timer and see if you are the closest to, or like sit down on a minute or something, and whoever was the closest would like win. That was quite a fun game, that. And so where was I going with that? Something about that game. Oh, and if I got onto the 6 minutes. Yes. And so what was I talking about before that? Oh, I'm gonna have to jump cut it again, aren't I? I was talking about, yeah, so this TikTok, and a lot of people were saying, like, in the comments on this funny video where I'm comparing these two cars, because I commented that it was a Suzuki Wagon-R Plus in a in a TikTok video, and someone went, no, it's an Agila, and so obviously I made this funny video about it, and loads of people in the comments were saying, one guy said, why are you getting so pressed? Loads of people put, who cares, who cares, who cares, who the F cares, you know, like, and I was just like, it's a joke, it's funny, like, I don't even care, like, it could, I probably knew full well that it is a Vauxhall Agila, but I knew that it's interesting, like, comedy, like, that there's a Suzuki Wagon and a Vauxhall Agila that look exactly the same. And that's the funny part of it. The mathematics, comedy is all mathematics. That's why all the Simpsons writers are, who obviously, you know, make the comedy in it, who write the comedy, they're all like ex-mathematicians and stuff like that, because they understand the logic of the contradictions of what makes stuff funny. And so obviously you would not think that there's two cars that are exactly the same. It's unfathomable, if you will. And so because it's like that, that's why it's funny. And I can't explain it any, not better, but in more detail than that, because that's literally how simple it is. It's like, that's why it's fun. And I just found it really funny. So obviously if you've just thought now, I didn't phrase that correctly, but from those responses, I'd reply to that video with like a video reply, which is in itself its own video. Like, you used to be able to do video responses on YouTube, but I think it sort of fizzled out and they just gave up on it. But I'd be like, do you not get why it's funny? Like, what, like, can't you tell by my tone of voice that it's funny? But I don't know, it's just a lot of people were saying, why do you care? And I didn't expect them, like, that many people to do so. So that's basically just that. And I'll leave the video here because I think I've done this one quite well. And hopefully the start bit turns out as well as I've thought. So thank you for watching again.